This ain't just a Toy Story or a foreign unboxing. These are the stories of action, toy glory, and we're clocking. SH Figuarts, Black Series are hot toys. And figures with transformation sequences that make noise. Check out the joints and the many points of articulation. We're celebrating the global collector nation. Sit back, relax, and get ready to rock this. Here's the real Chow. Welcome to Shelf Conscious.
I'm so excited to have these gentlemen on the show again. Cincy is making his return to the Nerds of Color, but we are introducing ourselves to Craig Roberts, aka Not Another Retro Channel. Please welcome to the show the retro freaks themselves, Not Another Retro Channel, Craig, and Cincy Nerds, Cincy.
Yay.
Welcome to the channel, guys.
First of all, am I the first return guest on Nerds of
You
Color?
might be. I think
Heck
the
yeah.
return on the Shelf Conscious, on the toy show for sure.
History made, my friends.
There it is. Bam.
Still has more views than the Larry Hama video.
Oh, does it really?
Well, but I mean, I'm an amateur. Like, I get the hundreds of views. You guys get the thousands and tens of thousands, so it's not even that big a deal.
Larry
Hopefully,
Hama's
with you guys on
legend.
now, we'll get that bumped up a little bit.
There you go. Heck yeah. We're movie stars.
That's my
now.
ulterior.
Movie stars.
Yeah, we got movie stars. Well, that's why I wanted to have you guys on. Since the last time Cincy was on, he has become a movie star. He talks about it all the time on his channel.
I really do.
I gotta run lines. I gotta go, fellas. I gotta go run lines. But I wanted to ask you guys, we are in the midst of your Retro Freaks campaign. But before we talk about that, I want to flashback maybe almost a year ago. NARC, you had like a kind of a War of the Worlds moment on your channel where you were advertising the last haul of your life, and everyone was like, what is this about? And it turns out to be a short horror film that you did that seems to be like a precursor to Retro Freaks. Can you talk about how that was connected to Retro Freaks and what instigated that whole thing?
Yeah, so we'll go back, bump it back 2 years before we shot Last Haul. Our director, Mr. David Ryan, reached out, and he's local to us, and he would message me and was like, hey, like I dig your channel. Let's go toy hunting. Let's hook up. I think we would totally mesh together well and all that. And at the time I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, cause he would message a lot. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, what are you doing? What's going on? And we finally met at a toy show, and I was like, oh, okay. He's completely normal. Thank God. And he was telling me about his film background, and he was telling me that I have this idea that I want to do with you and your YouTube buddies in a short film, but it's going to be like a comedy horror. We're going to mix that world with YouTube and see what happens. And I was like, okay, cool, that sounds great. And I think it was this past November we really got serious about it. We started reaching out, of course, Cincy and the other guys that are a part of the Last Haul of My Life. And we shot that in, what was it, 3 or 4 days, Cincy? Something like that.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, let's put it out on your channel, see what happens. And we did that. That's exactly how this whole thing started. And we wanted to keep on going with that. We enjoyed what we were doing. And we were like, you know what, let's make a feature film around the Last Haul of My Life. So that's exactly what we did. And we filmed everything within 9 months, and we had a premiere this past October 19th at the Texas Theater. It was awesome. It was really cool. So I mean, that's kind of how everything came to fruition.
So before the Last Haul, you had no inclination that like, I'm gonna make a movie, or
no,
it wasn't like a life goal.
No, I mean, always I always thought, hey, that would be cool to, be in a movie. Like, even being an extra. I was actually an extra in the Game Chasers movie that came out, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then when this came up, to happen, I was like, oh, holy crap, like, this is happening with me and some of my best friends, and we're actually doing a movie. So it happened really fast, still trying to process everything at the moment. So yeah,
But
it
one
was
of
just
those
a
friends
fan.
turns actors is sitting here on the channel as well. Cincy Nerd.
Yeah.
That was your first experience running lines in front of a camera, and you kind of got bit by the bug, right?
So I was one of the kids that ran around with a video camera back in the 80s making movies with my friends. That was me. So yeah, that was our thing, is we would make little movies, kind of parodying movies that were out that were, popular at the time. And I distinctly remember us making a parody or a sequel to Dark Man, if you ever remember that Liam Neeson movie.
Liam Neeson's.
Yeah. So that's what we would do. I was always like the actor in it. My friend would run the camera. So it's been something that I've been wanting to do my entire life. One of my big regrets, obviously, when you get older and you're in your 40s, you start thinking about things that you wish you had done when you were younger. And what mine is not going to film school. I always wanted to go to film school or some kind of art school where I could continue to act. I was big into drama in high school. So it's just something that I never kind of capitalized on. I had mentioned it to my parents at one time that when I was still in high school, hey, I want to go to like film school and I want to learn how to act. And they just kind of laughed it off. And they're like, no, you're not going to do that. And I ended up going to Virginia Tech and studying engineering, which was not a good fit for me. I ended up switching to business. I never graduated from college, as a matter of fact, because I got a good job after that and kind of dropped out. But anyway, it's just something that I've always wanted to do, get into acting, get back into acting, actually. And I never thought that I would ever get the chance. So this happening and this just kind of falling into our laps is literally a dream come true. My other dream come true is to actually be on, and this is exactly what I had ever, just kind of dreamed and envisioned, is being on stage introducing a movie that I was in, that I was a lead in, standing in front of a packed theater, standing in front of a group of people, and then having the audience react perfectly to it, where every joke hits. People are cheering when names are showing up in the credits, cheering through the credits, just going out into the lobby, people congratulating you on a job well done. And that literally happened. That was our premiere. The only thing I could think of that was anything remotely close to it is like going to a Marvel premiere on opening night, specifically like Infinity War Endgame, where people are gasping, reacting, cheering, clapping.
Except you're Chris Evans, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was like, can someone pinch me? Because this feels like a dream, literally.
Crazy.
And that's,
is there a scene where Cincy catches Mjolnir in this movie? Is that what he's hinting at?
Even better than that.
No spoilers, of course.
No spoilers.
But yeah, I mean, this whole thing, being in the movie, acting, going to the premiere, introducing it, having people react the way they did, it's just amazing, honestly.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, I mean, you guys are some of the most popular YouTubers, at least in the toy collecting space. So you're comfortable in front of a camera.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a leap though to do like your haul videos or your hunt videos and then like actually having to like act and run lines in front of a director and extras and stuff like that, or did it come more natural because you're used to being in front of a camera?
So basically, with me, just being in front of the camera is very natural because that's my job is being in front of a camera. Also, I do video production, and I'm literally looking at a camera that I am filming something and editing afterwards. So that's all I do, is sit in front of a camera and kind of look at myself. But the big jump for me was actually remembering lines and kind of trying to emote. Trying to get, because Dave and Michael are co-directors and co-writers, they would write the dialogue, and when I would read the scripting, I would kind of think, how are they envisioning this? Like, how would I play this? So, I mean, when you read a line of dialogue, there's so many different ways that you can play that. Do I amp it up? Do I kind of tone it down? So that was what was kind of not difficult, but it was different, and it was very fun because I would actually, in my mind, have like 3 different ways that I would run that line, based on like the amount of emotion or my tone. And that's what I love honestly, about acting, because when I'm sitting in front of the camera and just talking like on a haul video, I'm myself. But when we're in this movie, I'm essentially playing myself, but like on 11, amped
Right.
up to 11,
Mhm.
and just kind of not necessarily animated, but acting kind of different than I would in real life, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally. How about you, Craig? I mean, this is a first for you. You never envisioned acting the way maybe Cincy did for the last
Yeah.
several decades. But how was the leap for you going from, doing your videos that you normally do to having to perform and emote on screen?
Yeah, totally different for me, for myself, because with with YouTube, I can record something, um, I can edit it, and I can control everything that's happening, you know. So running our lines and having the guys edit the thing, it was very like, wow, like I'm not in control of this. Like I don't know how this is going to translate. So that was very opening for myself because I've never had that happen, obviously. Um, Whereas with YouTube, I can control everything and make it how I want it. So it was very like, me trusting them to make me look as cool as I can look, basically, in this movie. So that was a giant leap for myself. Not being in control of it and just trusting that it will be okay. And uh, the product that came out of it is fantastic. Like those guys killed it. Everybody on the cast killed it, and could not be any more happier with the final product.
So what's I find really interesting about your Retro Freaks crowdfunding campaign is that what you're essentially doing is you're crowdfunding something that you've already created in a sense, right? Like a lot of the things that you guys are talking about is that like the movie's already made. We're actually trying to fund another movie, but everyone who supports the campaign is going to get the movie, right? Like you've already shot it,
Hmm.
you've already finished it, you've already premiered it, right? And I just wanted to ask you about like that whole process of like deciding to. You've already shot the movie. What made you want to go ahead and crowdfund the sequel instead of just like releasing the movie and trying to get it into like I don't know I don't know, what do people do with movies that they've made, like get it into
Yeah,
festivals, get it into like a touring around the country or whatever it is, but like what prompted the idea to crowdfund a sequel?
yeah. So we the cast, everybody worked together so good together as a team while we're filming it. We're like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and do a sequel. We're gonna do that. That's going to be a thing, just because everybody like played so well together, and we had such a great time on set, and we have so many more ideas to show you guys and tell the rest of the story. So um, festivals, I mean, we are currently working on that as we speak. Something really cool happened today. I can't talk about, but it's it's crazy how this kind of stuff works because yeah, to your point, like you want to get the first one out to as many people as possible. You want to get it out to these festivals. That's the main thing. Streaming services after that, and really anybody that would you know give up their time to watch our film and give it a chance.
Plus, we made this movie on less than a shoestring budget. I mean, we made this for a
Velcro
very,
shoes.
very small amount of money, comparatively speaking, when compared to like other independently funded movies. And we just know that if we actually had funding
Hmm.
to put towards the sequel, we can do CGI, we can do, on location stuff in other
Bigger
states.
actors.
There,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we can do if we had funding, if we had money. So that's why we decided to go the Indiegogo route, is because yes, we did complete this first movie on a very, very small budget, but if we had money, we could make something ridiculously awesome.
So are you guys planning to shoot the sequel, or are you already shooting it, or are you waiting until the campaign is over? What is the timeline on I guess Retro Freaks 2 or Retro Freaks 2023?
Yeah. As soon as possible. So from what I understand, actually, we kind of talked about it yesterday. Cincy, myself, and Dave, uh, we're going to do it very, very soon. We're going to start shooting the sequel, I would say early next year. I think that's safe to say. And get rolling on that one while still promoting the crap out of Retro Freaks, like doing double duty.
Yeah. We've heard some preliminary plot points on the sequel, and it's just ridiculously
bonkers.
awesome. I'm so absolutely excited for this sequel because it's just crazy what is being planned for this thing. And I can't wait to get back on set and start filming again.
Well, you mentioned promoting Retro Freaks, and one of the things that I find really fascinating is, as a fan of, like I said, your channels and just like the toy collecting YouTube community, like there's so many cameos just from the trailers, right? So many cameos of, if you watch NARC, if you watch Cincy, you're going to know all of these cameos. And in the promotion of the campaign, you guys put out a bunch of like Instagram photos, kind of like outing everyone's real names, like Robo's real name, Pixel Dan's real name, except Cincy Nerd's real name. Like he's the only one who has a secret identity that didn't get his name revealed. Is there a reason behind it? Is Cincy Nerd going to be your like a SAG card when you join the Screen Actors Guild?
I wanted to keep it as like a, I don't know, as like an incentive to watch the movie and to order the movie. So like if you order the movie, you will see first of all, you'll see a name that you don't recognize in the opening credits. And at the very end, when you see our pictures and our names, you will see a full government name for me. My IMDb page still has Cincy Nerd, and I think I'm going to keep that, but I'm going to kind of do what The Rock does, where it's it's got his real name, Dwayne Johnson, as The Rock, something like that. So,
or you for a time period, you just have it in quotation marks between your first and last name,
exactly,
until you just become whatever your
the
name
Cincy
is.
Nerd.
Yeah, the Cincy Nerd, right? The Cincy Nerd says. Well, I'm very excited for Retro Freaks. I hope you guys get to your goal, and at the very least, even if you don't hit your monetary goal, you're planning on shooting the movie anyway, right? Like that's not contingent on hitting your goal.
No. I mean, we wanted, of course, we wanted to raise as much as money as possible with the Indiegogo. When we launched it, our goal is 300,000. I mean, very that would ambitious. Be fantastic. Very ambitious, right? If you know how crowdfunding goes. But regardless what happens, we understand that's probably not going to happen. But we have plans to tour the movie, like you said earlier. We have plans to go to different states, get a theater, possibly do tour shows along with the movie. So there's going to be a lot of information about that coming out soon. Also, we got Mr. Andre Gower from Monster Squad. He was in the film, and he's helping us out with all sorts of different outreach as well. Just trying to get Retro Freaks out there to many people as possible.
Yeah. I mean, any just Comic Cons, any kind of toy conventions, like there's so many outlets for a movie like this, and it already has kind of a built-in following. People are going to be familiar with it at those types of outlets. So I'm super excited for it. So that talk out the way, I do want to talk some toys with you guys, because why have you two on and not talk toys, right? And I thought this was a really interesting topic to bring up because of the crowdfunding aspect of Retro Freaks. That's an interesting topic in the toy collecting community right now, the idea of crowdfunding, especially like things like HasLab and Maddie Creations doing, where you have these big companies doing crowdfunding essentially. Before we get into like the controversies around certain projects, what is your overall opinion of something like a HasLab or a Maddie Creations, where people are putting in funding for a particular item that may not get mass produced, but the only way you get it is through this kind of funding project?
I personally like the idea. There's a couple things I don't like about it. There's a lot that I do like about it, because again, if they didn't have these crowdfunding, we wouldn't even have them in the first place. Like I wouldn't have a sail barge up on the top of my detail if I wouldn't have the Razor Crest. So I'm happy that they're doing them. I understand that it's not everyone's cup of tea, but at the same time, I wish that there were ways that they could somehow split payments so I don't have $500 to $600 deducted from my account all at once for me to not see anything for a year to a year and a half to maybe even 2 years. So that's the big thing that I don't like about them, is the fact that all that money comes out at the same time and then it's just gone. And then I just have to work on not dying for a year and a half so that I can actually see that thing arrive and on my front porch. But I do like them. I like that they're doing them because, again, you're getting a lot of large vehicles and large play sets that we never would have seen before.
Yeah. Craig, what's your opinion on the retail, not retail, HasLab, Matty Creation idea?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like Cincy. Like I dig the idea of it and how to do it, and it really sucks that you can't split payments because these pieces are super expensive. What the thing I don't like about it, like I really wanted to back the Eternia, the Motu Origins Eternia, right? Wanted to do that, but I just want Eternia. I don't want all the extra stuff like for the tiers. I wish there was something in place with like, okay, for maybe instead of like $550, $600 after shipping and fees and taxes, like maybe for $350 you can get only Eternia, like something like that. With this is the piece I want. I don't really care about all the other extras. I wish there was something in place for that, but you know, that's about it. I think it's cool, but payment plans would be nice, and then just getting the one piece that you really want would be a nice little touch.
Or at the very least, maybe wait until it ships to get charged, because like you're right. If you're backing several projects at once, like since you said, you're going to get a huge hit on the wallet. But why do you think so many people have like such negative feelings towards these crowdfunding things? Like, you know, without naming names, I'm not calling any specific people out, but like the Ghost Rider project was just people shit on it constantly. And I was of the mind that like, well, if it doesn't fund, it's not going to happen. It's no skin off your back. Why are you so upset that they chose to do this? Like, if someone really likes it and they're disappointed that it didn't fund, that's one thing. But I think the people who are most negative about the Hell Charger were people who didn't like it anyway. So like, without again naming names or calling anyone out, just like, what do you think is behind that mentality of like, you know, because to your point, I think something like it's not going to get funded otherwise, and it won't be even released otherwise. So this is a way for people who want it, if they really want it, they can get it.
I think it's just the price. It's a lot of the things that they're producing. So if you just think about it, these are like the Hell Charger was a Marvel Legends product. And if you look at a typical buyer of Marvel Legends, they're buying $25 figures. They used to be 20, they used to be 15. Now they're 25. You're asking someone to put down $350, which is a big jump up from the normal price that they pay per figure of $25. To me, $350 is a lot of money, but when I'm spending $300 on a Hot Toys figure, it's not that big of a jump. But again, you just have to think about the actual, I'm looking at it from a marketing perspective because I work in marketing. You have to think about the actual audience, the target audience, the clientele, the people that you're marketing this to. So it's a big jump in price. And if you're asking someone to spend that much money on something, they're going to want to be blown out of the water by something. That's why a lot of people were like, okay, we're getting before they even did the reveal, we're getting the Hell Charger. Are they going to throw in Johnny Blaze too? Are we getting the motorcycle? Are we going to get the guy on the horse? Are we going to, what else are we going to get for our money? So when it was underwhelming, when it was just the Hell Charger and not Johnny Blaze, not the motorcycle, people were like, well, that's not worth $350. So that's where the negativity started coming in, is the fact that people were, they had high expectations are just, they kill everything nowadays. Because I think, I don't know, because of the internet, but people just have expectations for movies, expectations for products. They set these expectations, they set these lofty goals. And when something is actually presented to them and it falls below that, they're disappointed with it. And then they just spew negativity because we have this outlet now called the internet.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's just where I think it's coming from, is the fact that expectations, underwhelmed, I don't like it. I'm going to make sure everyone that I talk to and know also knows that I don't like it, and I want them to think the same thing I think.
Yep.
That's a good point. And I also think that, if you're Hasbro, the collectors who collect Marvel Legends probably also collect G.I. Joe Classified, and they just came off of the Hiss. Because full disclosure, I thought about the Hell Charger because I like Robbie Reyes. I thought it was a cool vehicle, but I had just dropped $350 on the Hiss. You know what I'm saying? It's like same thing with the Eternia. Like, as much as cool as it is, one, it's too damn big. I got nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
But
huge.
two, like I said, I can't just be doling out hundreds and hundreds of dollars constantly. Like, I just bought Cincy's hot toy too. You know what I mean? Like, I was just one of his first Whatnot customers. So.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts on crowdfunding again, because I just thought it was so relevant to what you guys are doing with the Retro Freaks. Going back to the movie real quick, do you foresee this being a franchise? Like, if it takes off, you start screening like Comic-Con, it takes off, is there like enough plot that you can build a whole cinematic universe out of Retro Freaks?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, no doubt.
And my question is, if Last Hall is part of that cinematic universe, how about Cincy died? What's going on there?
It certainly made it look like that, didn't it?
Yeah, you would have to go in the Indiegogo, purchase the movie, and find out for yourself.
I'm just saying, it's no spoilers, but I went and rewatched the short film again, and I was like, pretty sure he kicked the bucket in the short film. I don't understand how he's in the movie, but
yeah. Oh, so just to clear things up too, with the short is a part of the movie. It's a little over halfway through the movie. Like, the Last Hall is there, exactly what you see in the short. It's just nothing was touched. It's in there, but Dave and Michael built the movie around the short. Yeah.
So there's
because I thought about, like, there were some scenes in the trailer that looked like it was exactly the same from the short. I just thought you maybe reshot it or something. So you're saying that Last Hall, that was the first idea that you guys had, and it was like, oh, how do we build the movie around that? Oh,
yeah. So we were originally, when we did Last Hall, and we were like, hey, maybe we should do another short. So we were going to do another short, which was a prequel. And then we started thinking, hey, let's do another short, which takes place after Last Hall. And then we started thinking, well, we've got 3 shorts at that point. Why not just do a
prequel?
A prequel.
Yeah.
So we just kind of combined all 4 of those ideas into one singular film.
Like I said, I'm excited to see it. I'm going to put all of the campaign stuff in the description and let everyone know that they can support the movie. At the very least, they can get, like, their hands on digital copies and DVDs of the first movie regardless. So just want to thank you guys for coming on. Before we go, I've already asked Cincy this when he was on the show last, so I'm going to ask Craig, what's the one item in your collection that's not in your collection? What's the one item that got away that you wish you had, other than the Eternia? But what's the one piece that's not in your collection that you wish you had?
That I wish I had. So yeah, okay, this is kind of a sore subject, but also it was for a good purpose. When we were raising money for Retro Freaks, I as you know, if you watch the channel, I'm a huge TMNT collector. Vintage Turtles, I'm trying to complete the entire line. I had Scratch the Cat, and I was like, man, we, as a producer, like, trying to make more funds to get this movie out and do everything we can possible. I was like, I'm going to sell Scratch. So I took my Scratch, we sold it for the movie. So I would really love my cat back. That would be awesome. Miss him.
At the very least, if you guys can't support the movie, support Craig getting Scratch.
Yeah.
Cincy, did you have any sacrifices in getting ready for the movie that? Because I know you've been on a selling spree lately. You've been getting rid of a lot of stuff. As I said, I purchased one of them. So, what's the one item that you got rid of that you kind of wish you got back?
I actually sold a bunch of stuff when I lived in Cincinnati and we were moving to Texas, and I had to downsize my collection because, quite honestly, I had way too many things. I sold a few things, including some vintage things. And one of the things that I've been, really trying to get back into my collection is Boulder Hill, the mask playset. I had a beautiful looking one. The box was nice. I had the instructions, everything. And I ended up selling that. And I really want one back, even though I don't really have room for it. I just want it back because that was the one thing I'm like, man, I should not have sold that. I should have tried to make room for it. But yeah, the mask Boulder Hill playset, that's probably the one that I'm trying to get back.
Cool. Well, I hope you guys, good luck to you, not only on Retro Freaks, but in getting back the toys that you've lost along the way. Craig and Cincy, thank you for joining us. How can people find you guys on the internet, and how can they find more about Retro Freaks?
Yeah, so you can find Retro Freaks on Instagram at Retro Freaks the movie on Instagram. You can find the trailers on my channel, on Cincy's channel, and then you can find me at Not Another Retro channel, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. That's how you find me. That's it.
Cincy?
You could find me at Cincy Nerd pretty much anywhere. IMDb, Twitter.
He likes the IMDb thing, doesn't he?
The IMDb.
See how I led with that?
All right, Mike.
Especially YouTube, and I'm now on Whatnot. I'm just going to go ahead and throw a little plug in there anyway.
Plug.
I'm doing a Whatnot auction on Tuesday. I'm going to be selling more hot toys. So Keith, you can buy another one if you want. But yeah, I'm going to be on Whatnot. So check me out on there. And yeah, we'll have a blast. You'll get a deal.
Awesome. Well, again,
Deals
thank you
and
guys.
steals.
Good luck on Retro Freaks. Can't wait to see the sequel and many more down the line.
Heck yeah.
Cool. Thank you for having us.